Don't take life that serious. There was a time when I genuinely believed that everyone around me had their life figured out. Adults seemed confident, successful people looked like they always knew what the next step was. Even people my own age somehow appeared to have a plan, while I was still trying to figure out who I wanted to become. So naturally, I started taking everything incredibly seriously. Every mistake felt permanent. Every awkward conversation replayed in my head for weeks. Every failure convinced me that I maybe just wasn't good enough. It felt like every decision was going to define the rest of my life. But then something happened that completely changed the way I look at people. The more people I met, the more I realized something almost nobody talks about. Most people are improvising. Not because they're irresponsible, but because life simply doesn't come with instructions. The people you admire aren't reading a secret script. They're making decisions with the same limited amount of information you have. Some are just better at pretending they know what they're doing. As children, we imagine adulthood as the point where everything finally makes sense. You think that one day you wake up, become an adult, and suddenly know how money works, how relationships work, how careers work, and somehow understand exactly who you're supposed to be. Then you grow older. You meet adults, and you realize they still ask for advice. They still make mistakes, they still change careers, doubt themselves, and wonder if they're making the right choices. Growing older doesn't automatically remove uncertainty. It just teaches you how to live alongside it. The strange thing is that everyone hides this uncertainty, because they're convinced everyone else has it figured out. Imagine an entire room full of people pretending to know exactly what they're doing, while secretly hoping nobody notices they're just confused as everyone else. That's modern life more often than we'd like to admit. Think about the last embarrassing thing that happened to you. Maybe you tripped in public, said something awkward, forgot someone's name, posted something you regret. At the time, it probably felt enormous, like everyone would remember it forever. But here's the question, can you remember the last embarrassing thing a stranger did? Probably not, because you weren't thinking about them. You were thinking about yourself, and that's exactly what everyone else is doing too. Most people aren't analyzing your life nearly as much as you imagine. They're just busy worrying about their own. We spend years imprisoned by an audience that barely exists. By a certain age, you're supposed to know what career you want. By another age, you're supposed to have money. Then a relationship, then a house, then another milestone. Life slowly becomes a checklist. The problem is that nobody agrees on who wrote it. Some people become successful at 20, others at 50. Some discover what they love after failing 5 different careers. Others spend decades chasing something they later realize they never wanted. Life isn't a race with one finish line. It's millions of different stories happening at the same time. Comparing yours to someone else's is just like opening a novel in the middle and assuming you know how it ends. One of the reasons we take life so serious is because we're terrified of making mistakes. We act as if one wrong decision will ruin everything. But when you look at your own life, the moments that shaped you probably weren't the ones that went perfectly. They were the uncomfortable ones. The rejection that forced you to grow, the friendship that ended, the opportunity you missed, the dream that didn't work out. At the same time, each of those moments felt like failure. Looking back, they often become the reason you became who you are. Imagine there was someone following you around every day with a clipboard. Every mistake, every success, every awkward moment, every achievement, writing it all down. That's how many of us live, as if someone is constantly grading our lives. The truth is, there isn't. People move on, the world keeps spinning. That thing you're overthinking today will probably become a funny story one day. The opportunity you think you missed might lead to somewhere better. The person who judged you probably forgot about it before dinner. The scoreboard exists mostly inside your own mind. And there's a difference between caring about your future and trying to control every detail of it. One motivates you, the other one exhausts you. You can work hard without believing every setback is a disaster. You can chase ambitious goals without tying your entire self-worth to the outcome. You can care deeply while also accepting that not everything will go according to plan. That's not giving up. It's trusting yourself enough to adapt. Some of the best moments in life happen because things didn't unfold as expected. One day you laugh at problems that currently keep you awake. The exam you thought would define your future, the opinion of someone whose name you barely remember now, and the mistake that felt impossible to recover from. Time has a funny way of shrinking things that once seemed enormous. That's not because your problems weren't real. It's because life keeps moving. You'll meet new people, discover new places, find opportunities you can't even imagine today. The chapter you're in right now feels like the entire story, because it's the only page you can see. But it isn't. There's hundreds more waiting to be written. So work hard, care about the people you love, chase the goals that excite you, become someone you're proud of. But don't carry the weight of the world on your shoulders every single day. You're allowed to laugh at yourself. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to fail, to begin again, and to have absolutely no idea what comes next. Because maybe the point of life isn't to perform it perfectly. And once you realize that almost everyone else is figuring things out one day at a time, you stop trying so hard to look like you have all the answers. You finally give yourself permission to just live.